to the weekly card pull on It's Giving Mystical with me, Kirsten. The card I pulled for us today for this week ahead of May 5th, the day of the Scorpio eclipse, the final eclipse in the Scorpio Taurus axis that's been traveling with us for these 18 months. And I have to say, as someone who has so much Scorpio placement, so much Taurus energy in my life, oh man. And that's actually the energy. I pulled the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a very mysterious card. Sevens in the tarot are always mysterious. Seven is the number of mystery. Whenever you're handling seven in the tarot, you have to have that perspective that some things are beyond understanding. Some things are beyond language. Some things are beyond expression. And that doesn't mean we don't reach for it. It doesn't mean we don't try. It doesn't mean we don't make art and write poems and do all the things that help us get a little bit closer to explaining the mystery, but also respecting the mystery. And that's what the sevens call us to do. The Seven of Wands, Cups, Pentacles, Swords, they're all cards that are a little bit difficult to grasp. Not a little bit difficult, that are difficult to grasp. We are in this third week in a row of dealing with fire energy. So your sense of individuality, how we individualize, how we hold the spark of our own light, how we honor ourselves, namaste, honor the light in ourselves before we can honor the light in another. That whole energy is just with us. It's just with us. We are just dealing with fire energy. And a lot of what I do when I work with the cards is I actually feel the card and I do direct revelation with it. So I kind of walk into the space and dialogue with the energies of the card, which sounds kind of kooky as I say it, but it's just a very natural experience. It's something I teach other people to do. It's not as crazy as it sounds. It's almost like a guided creative visualization using the imagery from the cards. And when I went into this card, what I felt was your fatigue, our fatigue, the fatigue, my fatigue. I just felt this feeling of like, I'm tired. It makes so much sense to me when we're talking about May 5th, the weekend ahead, the week ahead after that there is rest required. And that message came through for the May monthly forecast. It's been coming through in other channels that I listen to. This idea of really creating spaces of rest for yourself. I imagine that if that hasn't been the case, even me, I know that. I'm giving myself that advice. I'm giving all of us that advice. And I still am like kind of burning the candle at both ends in some ways. I'm taking on a lot more than I normally take on because I feel excited and motivated and creative and like I'm in the flow. And sometimes when you're in the flow, it's like, it feels good. It feels good to create again, especially if you've taken a time out. So I understand that feeling of wanting to stay with the energy, ride the tiger, ride the dragon. But the Seven of Wands coming up says, also appreciate that the fire will always be there. We have this myth when we're artists, when we create, when we tap inspiration for our work or our projects, that the fire might burn through. Like, have you ever done something really amazing creatively and then been like, oh, I don't know if there's anything past that, right? That's an idea that plagues many, many artists. Once you've created something beautiful, do you have it in you to create something that beautiful again? That's the mystery I'm talking about. That's this idea of mystery. The Seven of Wands is asking you to acknowledge the mysterious mercurial nature of fire and your handling of it. Any part of you that feels like you have to defend your creativity, fight for your place in the sun, the Seven of Wands is asking you to rest and to put that down. And that's not always the messaging of the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords creating space for your fire to burn. That's a message that was coming through actually in a reading last week for someone. I had the imagery of like a hot air balloon, like she was being asked to allow her light to kind of create a bounded space in her life. This is different. The energy that the Seven of Wands is bringing to our doorstep today is appreciate where you're tired and appreciate any narrative you have, any story you have around having to ride the tiger, having to ride the dragon, because there is a yes to that. I feel like is that like a euphemism for, I'm sorry. If that's a euphemism for doing drugs, maybe it applies to you. I hope not. And I hope that if you're allowing any substance to burn, like if you're riding any substance to get through to the other side. I hope you maybe get curious about that and give yourself space and grace to detangle from that. If that's what I'm saying when I say ride the dragon, that is not what I intend, but also maybe it's what I intend. The energy I'm feeling is like when you're lit up. And if you're a writer, if you've ever had that experience when you're writing and it just comes to you and you don't want to leave the keyboard, right? Because it's like coming. Or any kind of artist, I would imagine, has that experience. And there's a way in which that's beautiful until it's drained you, or until you push through some somatic barrier that you can feel where it's become anxious or gripping in a way that you didn't actually mean for it to be. The Seven of Wands coming up wants you to understand that you, and this came up also in May, your light is singular. Your song is singular. Your ability to work with the unfolding, to pull from the primordial mist a story, a song, a creation, a thing to share with the world, an expression to share with the world, whatever that means to you, that is singular. No one can take that away from you. No one can sing that the way that you will sing that. No one plays your notes the way you play your notes. It's that idea of nothing meant for you will pass you by. And it's also that idea of you can't miss. Like you can't miss the opportunities. You can't miss the momentum. You can't miss the unfolding of your life. It is happening just right. It is happening just right. And when the Seven of Wands comes up, there can be not disharmony, but frenetic energy around your fire energy, frenetic energy around holding tight. And remember, the Wands lesson in the tarot is that fire is not meant to be smothered. And the energy of holding tight to fire is always a place where you're asked to release. You're asked to let it fly. The wands are meant to fly. Your creativity is meant to fly. Your art is meant to fly. Your ideas are meant to fly. Your passion is meant to fly. These are not things we're meant to cage in our life. And so the Seven of Wands coming through says, notice where you're gripping. Notice where you're gripping because you think you won't get that feeling back, or notice where you're gripping because you're burning the candle at both ends, or notice where you're gripping where you think, oh, this feels really good, I like this, and I don't want this feeling to go away. It all comes and goes. It's all ephemeral. And like I said, the Seven of Wands is mystery. You cannot hold mystery. You can glimpse it, you can brush it, you can experience it, you can open yourself to it. You can create conditions where more of it is available in your life, or your experiences of it are more frequent, but you can't hold it in your hand. You can't stop it. You can't keep it still, because that by its nature, it's no longer the mystery. And by its nature, it's no longer inspiration. And by its nature, it's no longer passion. The Seven of Wands is coming up to just remind us of all of these things. You might be tired, and that's okay. You will not miss the boat. You will not miss the train if you take a nap. Another one will come. The right one will come. Think about that. Like, remember that movie Sliding Doors? I love that movie. There's all these ways in which your life is the call of your heart, the call of your soul's purpose, your reason for being incarnate in this life. It's undeniable. And you can't miss it, and you can't fuck it up, and you can't not arrive where you're meant to arrive. Remember this idea of the unfolding. Remember this idea of the unfolding. And the Seven of Wands is just a recognition that forcing it, pushing it, riding it when you really need a break, maybe you want to reconsider that. Maybe it's okay if you're tired and you rest. Especially, think about this Scorpio full moon eclipse. Think about Mercury still being in retrograde. Think about these transits that are coming for us in mid-May. Maybe it's okay to rest. And also, that's the kind of key message. The secondary message is inspiration will always come back. Your fire will always come back. You cannot burn it out. There's always chi available to you while you are living. And there's always inspiration available to you while you are alive. So inspiration, right? Like breathing in spirit, taking in the mystery. That is always available to you. So the Seven of Wands is telling me that we're all a little tired. And we should all take it easy. And we should all know when we get up from our nap, the painting will be waiting for us. The work will be waiting for us. The book will be waiting for us. The love letter will be waiting for us. The money will be waiting for us. Like whatever it is you need, it's there. It's there. It's yours. And you can't be separated from it. Trust the rhythm. Trust the rhythm of how you're arriving, okay? All right, you guys. Take it easy. Take a nap. Open your hands. Open your hands, child. Open your hands. It's giving everything is sacred. It's giving art. It's giving light you up and turn you on and set you free. It's giving curiosity. It's giving freedom. It's giving love. It's giving you are more magical and powerful than you can comprehend. It's giving, I don't know what's happening, but I am so here for it. It's giving you are pure potential. It's giving mystical.